Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films. Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
I was waiting for you to finish your sip of coffee.
Well, yes, and plus I had my mouth full of banana pancake.
Yum, banana pancake.
It's been a while since we had ye old banana
long
pancake.
time.
But we stayed up and finished up Band of Brothers.
Oh my God, I'm loving that show so much. Well, actually, I loved it. It's done.
Okay, so somehow we had missed that show over the years.
It came out in 2001.
I know, but here's the thing.
How's that possible?
Band of Brothers eats Masters of Air's lunch. I mean, totally.
It's really quality writing.
Its army rations are being eaten. I mean, it just...
It's MREs.
Yes, exactly.
Heated and eaten.
It just feels so much more adult and real and intense and mature.
They built character, but not just to kill the person, which is a thing that we get in cinema now. In modern cinema, there's more of a paranoia when you're getting introduced to a character in a tense situation because you know, well, I'm not going to give a crap about this person because they're about to die.
Right.
And this is the way that they're trying to make me care.
Right. We talked about the fact that, you know, you set the person up to be like, oh, I'm going to have a happy life, and then dead meat.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to get to go home dead.
No, but
that's not really what happens.
That's not the way. No, that's not the way it happens.
They really
in Band of
build
Brothers.
character over the course of time.
So many amazing people. Tom Hardy has a small role in a couple episodes.
Michael
Fassbender has,
Damian Lewis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Damian Lewis. I mean,
Tom Hardy was young.
Yeah, it's kind of like Damian Lewis's probably breakout role.
Colin Hanks, wasn't he in the episode?
Yeah. Colin Hanks was in an episode.
David Schwimmer.
Yeah. Jimmy Fallon was just in a really quick
in his acting
episode.
days.
Yeah, exactly.
I could not have imagined David Schwimmer could have been like one of those Full Metal Jacket,
like a total
boot
asshole
camp kind of guys. I did not expect that at all.
This episode is a very special episode, very unusual episode for us, because we have a movie coming out. Yay! Cue the Muppet Show.
It's time to...
Yeah. Thank you. You know what I love about you, babe? You go with my references. You just like jump in. You're just like, really? The Muppet Show?
No, honestly, I think that's probably why we're married today. We're in the middle of a writing session, and I just turned to you and I go, I can't tell if I'm hungry or my tummy's making poop.
And I thought, okay, that's going in. That's going in because the 8-year-old girl.
You said immediately.
In our Sky Valley rewrite has to say that.
Right.
And I think what's amazing, and what I said was what's amazing is that particular line. No one would question an 8-year-old saying it.
I can't tell the difference.
The terminology that you used was so cute. And that's the thing. You have a inherent cuteness about you.
Well,
the inside of your body is just nothing but like plush.
Skittles.
No,
Skittles.
plush Skittles. That's the inside of your body.
Cotton candy and Skittles. It was so funny because the way you responded, to that thing, is just like I could in that moment I saw it. Oh, that's why he loves me.
It's absolutely
something like that will come out.
That's one of the many, many myriad oodles and oodles of reasons. Yes, exactly. Aww. And this movie had such an interesting, development. How this movie ended up getting made was
unlike any other movie.
It was so organic.
We were actually
in the beginning,
long into pre-production on another film. In the raising funds stage, we had raised like half.
And we had and I had a check in my hand, and I had
But the deal was we had to raise it in a year.
You had to get the other half of the money. That was basically the deal that I had with, this producer, where it was like, if you don't raise the other half of the money, then I'm going to have to take the check back.
Right. So that had just happened this morning.
That just happened.
You were crying.
I was not crying. There were no tears.
We were sitting on the porch having breakfast in the fall. I remember you standing at the railing of the porch.
Yeah.
And saying, I saw this painting this woman had done.
The thing is, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
it's like a picture or something.
It was an image on Facebook. It very much reminded me of like the Nagal paintings of the 1980s, sort of like the Duran Duran album covers,
She was just like a beautiful woman surrounded by like palm fronds.
Tropical colors.
Pastel tropicals.
Yeah, it just was like, it just looked happy. It just looked alive. It just, and I was like, I looked up this, I found out it was a painting by an artist on Facebook, by a friend of mine. And the name of the painting is Girl in the Palms. Then I looked up on IMDb, had that ever been used as a name before, for a movie? And it hadn't.
It hadn't.
And I said, I want to make that movie.
You're like, I'm sick of trying to make this movie. This is the movie. This is the kind of movie I would want to make. And you showed me the picture.
Right.
And I looked at it and I said, okay, make it.
You're like, we can do this. This actually, people would want to see this.
Yeah, we could do that.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, let's set it in Florida. That way we could film it, when we needed to. It would be cheaper if we shot it in like January. It must have been fall when we were sitting outside.
We had friends in Florida. There were locations in Florida where we were like, well, maybe we could shoot at their place. Okay, maybe we could shoot at their place. Maybe we can do this. And and we started to kind of like, piece out, like you're putting tacks on a board and then you're like going to be connecting them together.
Call this person, call this person, call this person. And we need to start a crowdfunding campaign.
And what could the storyline be?
We're not even going to write the storyline until we know, is this person in?
Right.
Can this person help? What does this person bring? And this person could act in it. And we had to secure all of that.
Yes.
Because the concept of making this film was get everything put together first.
Right.
Then write the story.
Right. Then write the story.
That's what we did.
Then get the money.
We secured locations. We secured a boat. We secured like all these things that we normally wouldn't have written in, honestly.
One of the people that we got involved in the film is this guy named Charlie Hayes, who we knew
Charlie
from...
Vagabond Hayes.
Charlie Vagabond Hayes, yes. Do not forget the Vagabond.
Such an interesting and precious guy.
Oh,
really.
He's amazing. He's an amazing dude.
We called him up and he was like...
Well, we knew him.
Hell yeah.
We knew him from another project.
Yeah.
And I always knew that he could act. He calls himself a pirate.
Yeah.
He's
like a pirate.
He's covered in tattoos. He never wears a shirt, but trust me, if you look like Charlie, you wouldn't be wearing a shirt either.
Yeah, don't wear a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Me, I wear 7 shirts.
So Charlie was going to play a character, and we were just like, okay, Charlie, like, what do you think we can get access to down there?
And he was like, I got a buddy. He's got this. I got a buddy that's that. And
we can use my van.
And Charlie was always bringing up more stuff, even while we were on the road.
He was like,
shooting.
I know this place where it's like, all this crazy stuff where they have like these hippie concerts.
They
in the woods.
They have a naked drum circle.
Had we sat down to just write the script, which is the normal process,
right? Why
would we ever have known or thought to include the things that we included?
Oh yeah,
we never would have.
Right? Yeah, there was this crazy location. God, I can't think of the name of it, but basically it's like this hippie art village. There were peacocks walking around
all over the place,
everywhere.
They are really not pleasant.
Well,
to hear.
Yeah, to listen to them, they're kind of awful. Yeah, exactly.
Like, not pleasant.
They sound like pterodactyls.
They're
with
beautiful.
Colds. Oh yeah, they're amazing.
We're like, okay, these are all of our resources. how are we going to travel our character who's going to be kind of like hitchhiking from the north to the south in the winter? Very much like we were going to be making the film from the north to the south in the winter.
Well, you're talking about our lovely actress Lupe. And Lupe is... I found her like on Instagram.
Right. You ran across her on Insta.
Yeah, I did. I was like, I was looking around and
she had like makeup tutorials, but every look was different. Like she'd be in a red wig and a purple wig and a black wig and a brown wig and a blonde wig.
And I was like, okay, well, let's just incorporate that into the film.
We talked to her and she was like, yeah, I actually act. And we were like, okay, like come be in this movie. And she was like, okay.
She's so sweet. She's such a
great,
lovely
she's a great person. And we all just like,
but there's something
her.
so delicate about her.
Yeah.
That I felt like it, she was, this character is like she's been shattered and she's trying to slowly put herself back together.
Right. So we kind of actually stole a scene for why she's shattered.
Right.
We stole it from another movie because I always wanted that we had written.
By the time I got,
By the time I got to Woodstock, I've never finished writing that.
I wasn't going to say the name because someone is going to take the name now because it's such a great name.
Isn't it in a song lyric?
Yes, exactly. That's why.
We cast Monique Parent. You had met her, always wanted to work with her.
I had watched many of her movies throughout the 90s and 2000s. And I always thought that I was like, she's better than this movie.
Yeah, she was the best thing in every movie.
She's the best thing in this movie.
Yeah, and we reached out to her. She was like, yeah, I've wanted to work with you too. So we flew her in. And those are, but it's important to be building those kinds of relationships. And that happens to us often where we meet an actor at an audition or just in the course of life. And there's not a thing that they're right for yet.
Right. But
there will be.
And we incorporated her life and her career as a former,
Well, you conducted some kind of interviews.
The thinking man sex symbol is what she's known as. Yes.
But you kind of conducted interviews with people a bit. Because you talk to her about like the character. Mm-hmm. You talk to everybody about their character.
Right.
And like really we tried to ground it in aspects that they were really relating to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I remember that with Monique, I was like, I wanted to talk to her about what it had been like in her career and changing her career and changing her image and the way that people, had thought of her and the only way that people had thought of her. Mm-hmm. And she had a couple of lines and I'm like, that's going in.
Well, and that's the thing.
That's going in.
People just spout great lines sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta do it.
Life is full of dialogue, folks. Mm-hmm. Okay? All the time. People are espousing, things like John Steinbeck would say. Okay?
And really,
you just got to be listening for it.
And giving you a real window into who they are. Another thing that we had a friend down there who is the grandfather of digital art.
Yes.
He had expressed to us he wanted to be in a movie.
He was the Facebook friend of the lady who I had found the picture through.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, they were friends.
Lawrence Gartell.
Yes.
You hit Lawrence up. We had hung out with him quite a few times. He had expressed like he wanted to get into movies.
Well, Lawrence was a huge fan of our movie, A Little by Peep.
Right. He loves it.
He loved that movie. Everything about Lawrence is just like, I've never met anybody exactly like this person before.
The digital revolution came through him.
Right.
Into like, you're using a digital camera now. Well, he was using one before you even knew what that was.
And he has pieces that if you know art or magazine or he did
a vodka the
Absolute Vodka
campaign. He did an Absolute Vodka campaign.
Absolute, and I know
he wrapped a Grammy, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah, like
the Grammys hired him to do
like 10 years ago or whatever it was. He designed the Grammy Award for that particular year.
With his
gorgeous.
Art. It was so cool.
No, and now he's involved in toys.
he's always like had this idea to like design this toy that's like his art, but something art you could play with.
Right.
I mean, just a fascinating guy.
The other person that is so important to this film on so many levels is Mielina Scorzelli, because she came in and loved the idea. She loved the script. She financially supported the film as the executive producer. Boy, does she do a great job at, in the film.
Well, we had been talking to her for a couple of years and like always wanting to work with her, but like, it just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, it wasn't the right moment.
Yeah, it wasn't. Nothing was nothing came of it.
Her character is almost as like a surrogate mom to Lupe's character. But she is also, running. She's also, and what I love about this film is that on your journey, you will find people on their journey.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of, what's happening here. It's not really like Alice in Wonderland, where Alice will just kind of come across, people, the caterpillar or,
and it's like they don't come alive until she's there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they don't have lives outside of her.
Yeah, that's not what happens
But
here.
all of these people are on
a
quest. They're on an odyssey.
Our friends Sally and Nando, their mother owns a horse farm. Mm-hmm. We're like, hey, can we shoot there? Like, just so many
and Sally and
things.
Nando were supposed to be in the film, but
they got stuck in snow in New York.
There was an absolute blizzard, and they couldn't get back for it. Mm-hmm. So we had to rewrite the entire scene.
Well, and speaking of the script.
Oh my God, the script.
We never, I mean, like, I'm just going to be flat honest. We never had even a 90-page script for that film.
Okay. We never had a beginning to this film.
Yeah, we never had a beginning.
We never had a beginning. It's like we knew what was happening, but we never had a beginning. And our great friend Tara Rule, who we have wanted to work with. I mean, she's like played small parts in several of our films.
She came over one day. We were hanging out, and she was showing me this like music video she had shot in this abandoned like warehousey thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like visuals, and I think it was her friend in it who was posing and stuff.
We knew she was a visual artist.
No,
I mean, she's
like,
stunning. Her art is unbelievable.
Yeah. She's a painter, and she can do a lot of things with her hands.
She can do it all. She can sing. She can. Yeah.
We were in production on this, right?
Right.
And she's showing me this stuff, and I think it's really beautiful visuals. And I go, "Hey, Tara, would you like to come shoot a film with us?" And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, we're shooting, this day.
Like 13 days.
You'd have to come to Florida. Right. You'd be second camera, blah, blah, blah. And she goes like, if you're shitting me, like, please stop, because like I'm going to cry if you tell me that you're joking around.
This is what you want from people, folks. Okay. You don't want to, I'll have to check my schedule or whatever. You want people to go, if you're shitting me, I'm going to cry. Yeah. That's the response you want to what you offer people.
Right. She was so happy. And like, man, we really collaborated. Like, I think that she learned a lot. I think she was a massive contribution.
But she came not really to be an actress in the film.
No, but we were like, we need a beginning of this film.
Right.
So she's a great actor too.
Oh, man.
So it's like, okay, Tara, you're in the movie.
Well, and we kind of, I guess what we did was we wrote a scene that she could improv with, is what we did.
Yeah. And we wanted her to like be singing a song.
Yes.
And she was like, oh yeah, I did a song with my friend, actually. We produced it. Let me get him to give us permission.
I think I wanted that classic kind of, you think of the movie like The Hitcher. Mm-hmm. When the person that you're riding with
has turned weird.
There's something really weird here, and all you want to do is get out of the car.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they get weird because you want to get out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and there was the line. It's like, what do you think I'm going to do? Chop you up like coleslaw?
Yeah. Chop you up and turn you into coleslaw.
Exactly. Which is exactly what you're thinking, but you don't want the person to say it back what you're thinking.
Right. But Tara was so wonderfully unhinged.
It was so unhinged.
Yeah. But, I mean, that gave us the opening of the film. So, total, I think the film was only ever about 56 pages.
We were driving, we're driving along these, like, crazy
Oh my
back
gosh.
roads of Florida.
It was like, was it the Okeechobee? What?
Yeah.
The Everglades.
The
No, it's the
Everglades. Yeah,
Everglades.
it's the Everglades National
Forest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know this. I didn't know that once you drive into the Everglades,
Yeah.
it's all Everglades Forest.
Yes.
You're now in protected
You're
land.
surrounded on both sides by,
No, but like the road, like if you pull over at the gas station,
that's
it's
all.
inside the forest.
You're inside the park. Right.
The park.
Yes, the park.
So while we were shooting,
right.
I think it was you and this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
You were on the side of the road. Well, he goes and picks air plants.
Yes.
Which he like wanted to put in shells.
Yeah, he wanted to like give them to us sort of as
like a goodbye.
Like a goodbye gift.
Because it was like our last day
Yeah,
or two.
right, exactly. We're shooting the very beginning of the film, which we have finally figured out what that's going to be.
On like the last day.
Last day, yes.
I think the actual last day was just a bunch of B-roll, which is what I tend to do. Is
Yeah.
Save all the visuals and the B-roll and the fun stuff, the slow-mo, till the last day. You fell asleep. You're taking a nap.
Yes.
You wake up and like the whole back seat is covered in air plants.
Yeah. What was like, I'm going to get a couple of air plants has turned into a jungle in our backseat of air plants.
And these giant empty like snail shells
Yes.
that he was going to put them inside of.
Yes.
Well, that's lovely. And I really wanted one
Yes.
until the park rangers
The
pull
park
up.
rangers showed up and they were apparent. I mean, it makes total sense. They don't want you taking things out of the park,
Yeah.
but they were very serious about it.
We really didn't know this rule.
They were armed for some reason.
They were armed.
they were stern.
They took all the crap.
They
all
took
the
everything.
contraband.
They gave us a ticket.
Well,
it was a whole
no.
thing.
So we're
Yeah.
in the van driving back, and we just see the other van just surrounded by like flashing lights. and
Yeah,
all
there's
these
like
cops.
4 or 5 of them. Yeah. It was
So
crazy.
I'm like, well, obviously we're not stopping. Fuck them. They can go to the Gestapo.
I did exactly. I'm on my way to the prison camp, and Tracy's just like going by, with the
Like,
camera,
bye.
like
There it goes.
There's some great footage of just
No, like
yeah.
I told Tara, because she was shooting out the back passenger window. I said, put it in slow-mo and shoot them as we go by. No, I have footage of it, literally. We went down and we waited for a while, and then I was like, okay, well, we better go up and check on them.
Well,
So
thank
we
you for
pull
that.
up.
Thank you for
but
that.
I think we hid all the cameras. We
Okay,
had to look
yeah.
like we were not doing anything.
Yes.
Anyway, we got a ticket.
We got a ticket, and I had to pay it. Don't be taking shit out, folks.
Don't take shit out. You
Don't.
can't move shit.
Yeah.
You can't take a rock.
No shit out of parks.
Well, and honestly, remember the only reason they wrote the ticket was because he said, "Look, I travel the country. I
Yeah.
go to parks everywhere."
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, you do?" Well, then we're going to write you a really hefty ticket to make sure you never take anything out of any other
Yeah.
park in your life again.
Yeah, that probably wasn't a very. It's
He was
fine.
trying to say he really respected the park.
I know.
And they
I
turned
know.
it on him.
They
Park rangers.
yes.
Like, they have a different jurisdiction than a cop. You don't really have rights.
Okay, so we had to go out onto a sailboat, which are remember we talked about Charlie?
Yeah. he
Charlie
got
had a
us
friend.
A sailboat that was moored.
Right. That was like moored out. He
It was in a bay or something.
I remember him saying, "Yeah, we're just going to leave it where it is, and we're not going to like go sail it." And I'm really glad that he did that, because that
Yeah.
wouldn't have added anything.
No.
To see, on like the boat, because everything that you wanted for the
Was it
sailboat,
like the sunset and the
yeah,
sailboat?
the sunset and all
We
of
had a
her,
drone operator come
right?
and fly a drone around the sailboat.
And but what was interesting is on the way out to the sailboat, I was using my phone, because only a certain number of people were able to get into the boat to get onto the sailboat.
Yeah, it was like 2 at a time had to go out.
Right.
And Yeah, Tara actually shot all the stuff on the boat with a drone operator.
Oh,
and
jeez.
no, I love the story where she's like, yeah, but dude, you see that big orange blob? That's you.
Yeah, do you see us right here? Like right
we're,
now.
we're in the shot.
I'm waving at you.
Yeah,
that means you can't use this.
Yeah, we're in the shot. You have to move the
Do
drone.
you see me waving right here?
You were in the boat going over to the sailboat with Lupe.
Right. And
you were just like
Oh
filming.
yeah. I was just like, oh,
Having
hey,
fun.
this will be pretty. Right. So I'm just like, I'm filming.
Yeah, but then I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that.
Yeah, exactly. The whole trip over there.
And that's one of those instances.
Beautiful.
That's one of those instances where people kind of drive me crazy, like as an editor, when they're like, well,
Will this footage match?
Will this footage match?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
First of all, who cares? Who knows?
I mean,
who cares?
have
Make it
I
match.
ever watched something where I'm like, I don't think that scene matches that scene.
You've seen them go in and out of cameras. You've seen them go in and out of like GoPro, and you've seen everything.
Thank you. We shot in a psychic village.
We did.
Okay, Casadega. Somebody like when we were at
it's Sally
another
and Nando.
location.
No, Sally and Nando.
Oh, Sally and Nando. Oh, it was
They
Sally
said,
and Nando. Yes.
who-
Okay.
Whose mother had the horse farm. They said, oh, well, if you're looking for cool places in Florida, have you ever heard of Casadega? And we were like, what the hell is that?
I was like,
And they were like-
it's a psychic village. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
What?
What the hell is a
They're
psychic
like, no,
village?
only psychics live there, and you walk around and you get a feeling for who you should go talk to, and they give you a psychic reading. And then they were like, yeah, and what about this place? Yeah, it's a completely art village.
Yes.
Like, there's only cool art, hipster stuff going on there.
Right.
So we're like, okay, great. So we write all this crap into the crowdfunding of this. I found out my dad was really sick. And we didn't know what was going on. He was
Right.
in the hospital. And we finally found out, he has multiple myeloma. It's very bad. He has to have a surgery on his neck. One of the big reasons why the script never got finished was because I basically told you, I think I went down 1st of November. I was like, look, dude, like I have to focus on what I have to focus on now.
Right.
And I have to focus on my dad and my family.
Right.
And you're on your own. Like,
Right.
you're going to put the rest of this movie together. You're going to write this movie. This is your baby now. Mm-hmm. I have to leave. Mm-hmm. And like, it happened.
That was a crazy
And then
scene.
we were on set. I think it was like day 2, maybe. And I got a call that one of my best friends from high school committed suicide.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
It was a lot.
a lot of emotional damage.
It was.
Going on. But we're coming in to shoot with this one psychic.
Right.
Who said she would be in the film if she could give a real reading
That was
to
the
the
thing.
person.
She would not have a script.
Yeah, she didn't want a script. She
She
just
said,
wanted to
like,
do a
okay,
reading.
I'm going to do a reading, and you can use what you want from this reading.
Right. But we walk up to her house and she grabs me and says, how's your dad? And like, I just like burst out in tears.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you,
what the fuck?
You got to be on your shit to be in Casadega, folks. Come on. This is like the
Yeah,
psychic
you ain't getting
village.
away with nothing.
That's right. Okay. On the way home, we're looking and we see, what the hell is that? It's like
Lights.
glowing and Christmassy. And that's another thing, folks, is that Girl in the Palms is set at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We shot it between like December 1st-ish or something and
Right.
December 18th.
Yes, exactly.
December 17th.
So somebody had taken their haunted house,
And turned it into a Christmas village.
a Christmas themed,
Village. You know how they have all
yes.
the mazes? Well, now
Yeah, all
it's,
the
like,
mazes.
lit up
Now
with
they're Christmas
lights.
mazes. Yes.
Right.
So they had like all of these crazy lights, and they had
Yeah,
like,
we just passed by it, and I'm like, pull over!
yeah, I'm like, okay, it's like, we've got to shoot this. We've got to go in
we're
and
like,
shoot
okay,
this.
we're going to pay for everybody to get in.
Right.
We're going to have fun and walk around this Christmas village, and we're going to film it.
Yes.
So, like, Tara ran around with Lupe through all these, like, mazes
I mean,
and all these
it
lights. and-
looked so magical. And, and
you
it's
could
like
pay-
something you could never imagine.
No.
The film, we had premieres in Florida and
The Orlando Film Festival.
yeah, the Orlando Film
It got
Festival.
into a lot of festivals.
Should I show my tattoo? I don't know if I can get my leg up that high. But anyway, all of us have a palm tree tattoo.
Except for me. At the film festival, Mielina took everybody to get Girl in the Palms tattoos.
Yes.
And she just really, really, really strongly connected with the film. She loves Lupe. She loves everybody who worked on that film.
Every time I talk to her, she says it's my favorite project I've ever been on. And she's been on like a lot of projects and big projects.
Well, we really had a great time.
Yeah.
We really did. And we all stayed in one big Airbnb together and just lived like a little arty family.
It was beautiful, and it's coming out March 12th. There's really nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it.
It's that time.
Oh, for Origian.
Part 7?
I don't know.
Editing? That last one was long.
It was really, really long. I think this one won't be as long.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Not that I don't want to do it, but just it was long.
Right.
Exterior, above the ride home day. A drone is heard and comes into view in front of the group on the porch. It has the letters KTLA printed on it. All of a sudden, the drone that was following Ian swoops out of the sky and fires a flamethrower at the news drone. It falls onto the lawn smoking.
Ian, that was exciting. I worked with Congress to pass a law establishing drones couldn't film without expressed consent, so it's the Wild West in the sky. We'll clean that up. Please be in touch soon either way. The smoke Gouda was magnificent.
Bending now to Emmeline.
I think you know a lot more than any of us think you do. I hope to see you again soon, Emmeline.
The whole group walk toward their different vehicles. Security picks up the downed drone and places it in a bag. The visitation has ended. The cars drive away. The killer drone hovers above the yard until after everyone leaves. It flies far into the air, then back in the direction of the convoy.
Ian's red car day. Ian is riding in silence. He seems annoyed with himself. He's playing back the conversation in his mind. He doesn't like some of the things he said. He mutters to himself and punches the seat. He then calms down, puts on some music to relax. He gets a text on his phone.
Celia's text. I thought that went well. Great job.
Ian texts back. We'll see how it goes. Ian closes his eyes and drifts into the music.
Exterior, ride backyard day. Emmeline is sitting on the bottom of the family pool, looking up into the rippling light. She sees her big sister Bettina dive in. Bettina swims up to her and smiles, and then tries sitting next to her on the bottom. They both look at each other and swim up together. Robbie walks along the side of the pool and goes to the corner and squats.
Bettina. What is Robbie doing?
Emmeline, I taught him to poop.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Why?
So he can be more like a real dog.
Robbie rubs his butt on the concrete. That's weird.
I'm being weird?
It's just that Mom and Dad are always trying to program you to be more like a real person, normal, not act all spectral. So maybe you try to make Robbie like a normal dog.
I think he wants to be a dog.
Robbie pulls their towel over, trying to cover his non-existent poop. Bettina. He should just be Robbie and do the awesome things he can do that a plain old dog can't do.
Emmeline, I can make him do almost anything, but I'm still limited by his vessel.
So basically, Mr. Moneybags gave you a poop maker. Emmeline doesn't understand. I'm sorry, Emmy. Robbie is super cool.
Emmeline, yes, he is.
Robbie comes over to the side of the pool and tries pinching another one out. Bettina makes a fart sound. They laugh. All right, there's another one in the books, baby. You know, another one's in the books.
I actually, we break these up into social media clips, too. Like, in the podcast, you hear them consecutively. But the social media clips, usually there's 2 or 3 parts. And I've actually, a friend reached out to me and said, hey, I love when you guys are reading from your script.
Yes.
You should do ASMR. I could listen to you all the time.
ASMR. I'm a squirrel.
People always go.
I'm a squirrel
a lot.
eating my nuts.
Yeah, why do they always make spit sounds?
Well, that's part of the ASMR, man. Definitely check out Girl in the Palms, coming out on March 12th.
Yeah,
on a streaming service near you.
I'll put some links in the description
Aren't
so you can
all
find
streaming services near us though?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so that really doesn't work anymore.
They're right
used to be like TV. A theater near you. Yes. Yeah, behind Shuni's.
Now it's just coming soon.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, in our old town, they used to describe Regal, Hollywood 27,
behind Shoney's. It's like, wait, Shoney's. Everybody knows it's Shoney's.
Shoney's. But how many thousands and thousands and thousands of people heard Shoney's?
And that was like sort of AI before AI, and it's we don't have anything to fear, folks.
Indian Lake 12.
They can't figure out spaghetti, and they can't figure out fingers. We're gonna be fine.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.